Hi everyone, this is your host for more interesting facts about the dinosaurs. And you're probably looking at this thinking, well, why did this dinosaur have a giant sail on its back? And to answer that question, we've got to go back in time before the days of dinosaurs. Before the age of dinosaurs was the age of amphibians and small, proto-mammals, and these weird fish lizard things called reptiles. Now, some of these reptiles were pretty normal looking, but others had huge, elaborate sails on their backs. Today we're going to talk about one of the weirder ones, the Dimetrodon. Now, Dimetrodon means two measures tooth. It's a reference to the two-pointed lobes of its namesake, the saber-toothed cat. But Dimetrodon wasn't named for its teeth, which are more like those of a crocodile, but for its sail. The sail is made up of elongated ribs connected to spine-like extensions of the shoulder girdle, which in turn connected to massive, powerful muscles that could draw it back into a tight ball. When it did so, the sail would raise up off the ground and form a triangle shape, hence the name. Dimetrodon was around for quite a while, over 40 million years. It first appeared during the Carboniferous period and continued to slither around until the end of the Permian, when a massive volcanic eruption in what is today Siberia spewed enough CO2 into the atmosphere to trap enough heat and change our planet forever. It may have been the largest land predator of its time. According to some estimates, it grew up to 6 meters long and weighed close to a ton. However, recent studies challenge these numbers, arguing that Dimetrodon was much smaller. Even the smallest of these fish lizards were still pretty scary, with dozens of sharp, serrated teeth capable of delivering a fatal bite. But Dimetrodon wasn't the only sailback beast. There were many others, all part of a group of animals known as the sailfin or sailback synapsids. They live mostly in what is today North America, but fossils have also been found in Europe and Asia. At first glance, it seems like they all belong to one big group, but new research suggests they might not be related at all. These creatures evolved independently from one another. The sail likely arose multiple times as an adaptation to the same environmental pressures, kind of like how birds and bats both evolved wings independently from one another. So, why did these creatures grow sails? Well, there are a lot of theories. One is that it was to attract mates. Maybe the males would puff out their chests and raise their sails to impress the ladies. Another theory is that it was for display and defense. In other words, to intimidate rivals and scare off predators. Some researchers believe that Dimetrodon and its kin used their sails as a sort of secondary respiratory surface. The blood vessels in the sail could have absorbed oxygen from the air, helping them gulp down more air and stay active longer. There's even evidence that some of them had a thin membrane stretched between their sail bones, which could have acted like a lung, allowing for more efficient gas exchange. The sail may have also helped regulate body temperature. Some scientists think the blood vessels near the surface of the sail could have helped dissipate heat, keeping the body from overheating. After all, some of these creatures were huge. They needed a way to keep their body temperature down. Others have suggested that the sail may have served as a sunning shelf, allowing the animal to soak up the sun's rays and warm up faster. This is especially appealing as an explanation since Dimetrodon lived in what is today the southwestern United States and much of North America. During the Permian, this region was incredibly dry, and the sun was the main source of heat. So it makes sense that a creature would want to bask in the sun and warm itself up. Of course, there's no way to know for sure why Dimetrodon and its ilk sported such strange sails, but they clearly worked as whatever they were for. Otherwise, evolution wouldn't have favored them. But Dimetrodon wasn't the only sailback beast with a mysterious sail. In the early 1900s, a team of fossil hunters working in Egypt uncovered something truly spectacular, a huge meat-eating dinosaur with a sail on its back. The dinosaur was over 12 meters long and weighed over a ton. It belonged to the Spinosauridae family. Other members of this family include Baryonyx and Suchomimus. Like other theropods, it had a long neck and a long tail. But unlike other theropods, it also had giant sails extending from its back. Initially, paleontologists thought the sail was made of skin and fur, but later they realized it was actually made of bony plates. New research suggests the sail may have been made of feathers. If this is true, then the sail may have been used for display and defense, attracting mates and scaring off rivals. Other scientists have argued that the sail may have been used for thermoregulation, helping the dino soak up the sun's rays and warm itself up. Some researchers have even suggested that the sail may have acted as a secondary respiratory surface, allowing the dinosaur to gulp down more air and stay active longer. It's hard to say for sure, but whatever the reason, it clearly worked as whatever it was for. Otherwise, evolution wouldn't have favored it. Still, it's a bit odd that a fearsome predator like Spinosaurus needed help regulating its body temperature. Maybe it wasn't such a hothead after all. So why did these dinosaurs and ancient reptiles grow sails? We don't know for sure, but it's safe to say that they worked as whatever they were for. And maybe that's the real mystery.